guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com and just giving you an update on the job situation. I actually got 3 different meetings. I just had the first of those 3 meetings, and so let me bring you up to speed of what's going on. So in the last video, I said about these 2 guys that were established real estate brokers were interested in bringing me on, and I wasn't sure, what I could offer them, if I could offer them what they needed, if they needed me to bring in my own business right away, which I didn't have, or, how they wanted to structure it. They seemed pretty interested. So let me tell you about the 2 leads that happened right after that, and then I'll let you know what happened in this meeting. I literally just got done meeting with them. We went all out to lunch and had a real good discussion. So after I was talking with those 2 guys and setting up a lunch with them, I actually got a call back from another real estate brokerage firm, and I talked to them on the phone. I had done business with this guy. He's been in the business about 30 years, so he's known me pretty much the 18 years I've been in the business. And I talked about maybe possibly coming on board with his firm. And, he said he'd love to have me, but, they don't pay any salaries and you kind of got to bring in your own business. So I said, well, maybe there's guys in your office that already have more business that they can handle and they need to be freed up to prospect for more business and just need a guy to close all their deals. And, maybe that can be, some income with me while I build my own business, and, could be a possibility. So I emailed him probably last week. I just heard back from him late last night, and I have a meeting with him next week to go over that. So that's a possibility. It would be a great place to work. Everybody, they're really want to have a stress-free office. They really make it nice for everybody. It's a short commute, so I think everything would be good as long as I feel that, I could give them what they're looking for and obviously make money there. This would be a commission job, so that kind of makes or breaks it, whether you can, prospect and get the business done or not. And the third lead basically is, it was actually a competitor of mine in an office market that I was in. So in the office market that I'd been in that market for about 12 years and leased up my building. That was one of the projects I finished up before I got laid off. There's maybe like 4 or 5 buildings that kind of compete with each other. So in the office markets, the size of spaces available have to be about the same. So even if the building next door is the same size as you and a similar price point as far as rent goes, if you have a 5,000 and a 10,000 square foot office space that's vacant, and they only have 50,000 that's vacant, you're not necessarily competing against each other, because if somebody's looking for a 10, they can't go across the street because they won't do 10. They only want to do 50, or likewise only 5. Or if he has a tenant that wants 50,000 square feet, they're not coming to look at my building if I only have 2 units that are 5 and 10,000. So technically they're a competitor, but we kind of always worked out an arrangement if he had real small spaces and I kind of had mid-sized spaces. So we didn't really compete so much head-to-head. And actually, a lot of tenants would outgrow his building and come into mine. Now, he knew that. There was nothing he could do about it. I never actually met him in person, but we talked on the phone a lot. When he was kind of out of space and needed bigger space, he actually wanted to lease space in my building that he could sublease back to his tenant, so he technically wouldn't lose the tenants. The numbers just didn't work out because obviously they can get a cheaper deal going with me direct than going through him, subleasing it and paying his rent or his markup. So it never worked out. But going through all my contacts, I went on LinkedIn and just told everybody that I was available, wishing them Happy New Year just to start the conversation. And then like a week or 2 later saying, hey, by the way, I got laid off and, I'm looking for a new opportunity if you hear of anything. And, to his credit, even though technically he could be a competitor, he said, no problem. He said, let's get together for lunch. I'll go through my Rolodex. I know a bunch of different landlords. Maybe somebody's looking for a guy. He knew a couple people that had people that maybe weren't getting the job done or were looking for somebody. So I'm going to have lunch with him next week too. So that's really great to his credit. I mean, he owes me nothing. He doesn't have to do anything with me. We tried to do a deal in the past that didn't work out just because we couldn't make the numbers work. But he thought enough of me to help me out. Technically, could be a competitor and cost him business. And I think that's really nice. I mean, he's a busy guy. I mean, he called me literally on my cell phone at 9 o'clock last night. And we talked. He's like, wow, I can't believe it. They laid you off because you have such a good reputation. You did all this leasing. You're very well known for that. And he's like, I might know a couple people. Let's sit down for lunch and go through my Rolodex. I can at least give you leads. So I thought that was really nice of him. to do that. He certainly didn't have to do that. It's probably good for him because I won't be competing against him. So getting me another job, who knows, could work against him. But I mean, that's really cool when somebody that you're technically competing for tenants with is nice enough to kind of open up their Rolodex. And, you know, I don't know that he'll have anything that could actually help me, but just that he's taking the time out of his busy schedule to help me shows that he respects me. And, you know, I have all the respect for him as well. And that's really cool that somebody could do that. So those are my three. Those are the other two leads. So let me get back to you on the first lead, which I think probably has the most potential. Okay, so I had lunch with the two guys. I guess that was the first lead. That's the lead I said in the last video. That was the strongest lead, or really the only lead I had so far. So I met with those guys. I wanted to know, you know, if I could be on a successful team and do stuff for them, that would probably work out because it's a commission job. But if I'm on the team and we're going to close 10 deals a year, that would almost be like a salary because I'd be assured that I'm going to get paid for at least a portion of those 10 deals. And, you know, they're looking at that and they kind of offered that. They said, look, you know, we can't obviously give you a salary as a commission job, but we can get you in on deals, which at least for the first year. So you basically have a year to build up your own business. And after a year, you'd have to stand on your own. So now it's kind of tough because I've always been on the salary side working for the landlord for the last 18 years. And now, you know, now I'd be on commission starting from scratch. And remember, I have a family. It's not like I'm not 22 years old, you know, living at home with my parents like I was when I started in the real estate business. So now all these years later, I'd kind of be starting from scratch. So it seems like a good opportunity. It's a small shop. There'd only be 4 of us. So some of these brokerage houses that you work for, like say a Cushman and Wakefield, there are probably 100 brokers there, you know, and they're each fighting for their own business because this guy called the guy. And even if you call him or meet with him, this guy will say it's his guy. So a lot of times you're competing with people inside, and if there's only so many deals to go around, and to me that never made much sense. If you work as a team, you could probably do twice the deals together than if you're fighting over a couple of deals. Before I had this last job, you know, I worked at a real big real estate company, you know, essentially my first real estate job, and there were, you know, 20 leasing people like me, and you used to fight over the same deals, which to me made no sense because if all 20 people were working on different stuff, it would build the company's business rather than, you know, 5 of you or 10 of you competing on the exact same space. You know, only one person's going to get the deal and then the other 9 people just wasted their time. So that never made sense with me. So I kind of like that these guys would work as a team. So we'd work very closely together. You know, they seem flexible. Like if I had to do something with the kids or, you know, come in late or leave early because I had to pick up my kid or go to something, they seem pretty flexible with that. So that's always good, you know, as a father looking at that stuff. And, my first choice would be a salary job, but there's no salary. So it really would come down to is what they could give me the first year so I could pay the bills. And then secondly, would I be able to get my own business? So that's a lot of calling people on the phone or canvassing, but a lot of business really, and I really haven't had to do that before, except when I first started in real estate. My first job, I had to canvas and not go door to door, but I used to go to other real estate offices and say, hey, if you have a client, you know, this is what I do. And, you know, I did get business from that. But I mean, realistically, you might have to canvas, what they call, not necessarily calling on the phone, but in person, going to other real estate offices. You may have to go talk to 100 people before you get one deal. So then it's a numbers game. Then you go, how many people can I see a week? Is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 20? And you know, that's how I can expect business. And the problem is with real estate, it's not like buying a car. You find somebody who's in the market for a BMW, maybe he buys in the next 6 months. So real estate, the guy could be like, I like you, I'm going to use you, but I don't need anything for till 2 or 3 years from now. So it really takes like 3 years till you start making money, because most of the guys that you'll find that will work with you now may not do anything to year 3, and you're not going to get paid to year 4. So the first couple years, it could be very tough. So it's important to start at a good team where at least I can get some income coming in as I build my business. One thing I didn't think of, it's not just necessarily saying tenants that I have in the past that know me. I mean, that would obviously be a good place to start. But, you know, I know 1,000 people that I've played ice hockey with. I know 1,000 people that I've gone to Cars and Coffee with, you know, just from social media or Facebook. You know, I know all of you guys. You know, you could be working for a company that needs office space. And the good thing about being a broker, when I was on the landlord side, yeah, I got a salary, but I could only show you space. You know, if you wanted, you know, name the town. If you wanted space in that town, I could only show you a building if my company owned the building in that town. If they didn't, I couldn't do it. So there's a lot of being a broker. If I'm in New Jersey and somebody wanted space in California, you could still deal with me. You know, if it was a big enough deal, I could fly out to California. Or you know, so there's even from the YouTube channel, I could get leads from that. I can get leads from hockey. I can get leads from Cars and Coffee. And now, obviously, you know, I go to a gym. I did a lot of deals in the past. I had a building in town. I went to a gym in the same town, and I at least had a lot of space because I just met people in that gym. They were there when I was there, and we just happened to strike up a conversation, and they needed 5,000 square feet of office space, and they wanted to be in town. It's like, hey, my company owns a building in town, and we have 5,000 square feet. So it could be a lot of situations like that as well. Oh, and hopefully something, you know, could also give me the flexibility to keep doing the YouTube stuff and the car stuff. Certainly it allows me to meet a lot of people that way. So it could work twofold. You know, I could review somebody's car, and they also have real estate needs, you know, like there's so many opportunities. You know, I wouldn't want to take a job. Like, I don't want to disappoint them. I've known these guys for 18 years. Just as luck would have it, when I started in the business, you know, when I was 20 something, you know, I would take people out to lunch, and typically I would take other 20-year-olds out to lunch like me, you know, that were, you know, right out of college or whatever into the real estate business. So I'd get to know them, and I thought that was a good strategy, and it really worked for me because, you know, one day we're going to be 30 and 40 years old, and now I know those guys. So probably I took guys out to lunch all the time, and maybe if 1 in 10 guys made it in real estate, which is a good number, 90% of people don't make it. But those 10% I'm still friends with today. And how I got my last job that I was at for 12 years is I took this guy out to lunch his first day in the business, and I was new to the business too, and we became friends. We wound up doing a lot of deals together when we were young, and then when this opportunity opened up 12 years ago, he recommended me. He said, hey, I know a guy. This is, you should hire Glenn. And I got that job. I didn't literally have to interview. I just walked into the room, and they're like, do you want to start this week or next week? You know, and here's your salary and all that other stuff. So it was a home run, and it worked out. You know, it was certainly 12 good years. So now it would be, you know, now I'll be awake at night trying to find the next deal, because even if you close a deal and get a good commission, you don't know when the next one's coming. But I really do have a lot of contacts between social media, hockey, cars, you know, real estate itself. So I probably know 10,000 people, and if 1% of those did a deal with me, I'll probably be fine. So hopefully that's true. A lot of people fall on their face, which that could happen. But, you know, if I decide to take this job, I'll vlog about it, and you can actually see how I do. And, you know, just like with cars and buying and selling cars, we'll see if I can make it as a commercial real estate broker, you know, being on commission and trying to find my own business. So let's see. I'm going to go, obviously, do the other 2 meetings. I'm not selling myself short. Maybe somebody will find a salary position at a landlord, or, you know, who knows? So I'm really open to anything. So that's the gist of it. We just had meeting number 1. I got 2 more meetings next week. So I'll vlog about those after they happen so we can see where we are. And remember, we're still going to have car videos. You know, I'll try to definitely, out of the 3 days I'm uploading, at least 2 of them will be car videos. Maybe 1 will be a vlog or something, but we'll figure that out. And if I have extra vlogs because of the situation, you know, I can always throw them up on a Tuesday or something like that. So if you like what you see, car related or even this, hit the subscribe button. If you are a subscriber already, hit the notification bell. So if I do post some extra videos, whether it's on cars or this vlogging, you get notified every time I do something. And give this video a thumbs up and share with your friends so my channel can grow. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Take care.